Hey, what do you think of New York City requiring proof of a vaccine for indoor dining and activities?
I don't think it's going to stick.
You think people are going to revolt?
Yeah. I mean, there've already been a small number of demonstrations against it, but I don't think that's going to persist because it's just not going to work. Like, even think about employees that aren't vaccinated, especially in restaurants and stuff like that. I just don't think.
You don't think the government is able to enforce that?
I think they could try, but I think that it's going to end up becoming worse than what they would want. I don't know, bro. I just think all of this is like they're slowly just trickling down and taking our rights and stuff like that. And it's not that I'm anti-vax because I have vaccines. I've taken multiple vaccines. It's just that this particular one, I'm a little bit skeptical. Not a little bit. I'm very skeptical about,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
But why? Why is that? Like, why are you more skeptical about this one versus any other ones that you've taken?
Because this one rolled out in a record time. It's not FDA approved. It uses RNA instead of DNA. There's so many things to it.
What's the difference?
To be honest with you, I don't even remember. I read about all this shit, and then it goes in through 1 year, and then the next day I forget all this shit. Thanks to marijuana.
So you're just saying shit?
No. Like I've read this stuff, but I can't explain to you in details like what it means. Like I read before what it meant, but I can't tell you what it means now. And if I did, I'd probably be fucking it up, butchering it, and then people are gonna be like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about."
Right. I mean, because people in Europe right now, like especially France, bro, they're going off.
Yeah.
Italy, going off. Like,
Yeah.
they're not accepting this shit, or at least some residents
And
or citizens aren't.
I also think that they were talking about was it in the Joe Rogan podcast where because the people are getting these vaccines that don't protect you 100% against it. Well, no vaccine 100% protects you, but it's meant to. This one in particularly does even less. And because of that, that's why we're getting different strains, because people are getting COVID and this vaccine is not really fighting it like it should. And it's developing into something else. It's mutating. And now that's why you're getting different variants and stuff like that. So, and they're trying to blame it on the unvaccinated people. I don't know. I just think there's just more shit to divide people. And the news just keeps putting out this agenda of, if you're unvaccinated, then you're not safe. If you get COVID, then it's probably going to be worse for you, the symptoms. I personally know a decent amount of people that have the vaccine and has still gotten COVID. I know some people that had COVID really bad. We know somebody that went to the hospital with the vaccine, So it doesn't matter, bro. It does not matter. I personally, and if you go to a lot of scientists says the same thing, it's way better for you to actually get the virus in nature, in real life, and then develop the antibodies. It's way more effective than getting a vaccine. That's been true throughout history for whatever fucking sickness that there was, not just COVID.
Well, not every disease is like that. 'Cause, like, what if you get smallpox or the yellow fever? Like, what if that shit could kill you?
Right.
If you don't have the vaccine.
Well, sure, it could kill you, but what I'm saying is, going back to there's no vaccine that 100% protects you. If you get the smallpox or whatever, when you develop those antibodies, you're for sure not getting that shit again, or it's really going to protect you as opposed to the vaccine that you got for it,
Right. Yeah, because I just don't think COVID is such a big deal like they claim it to be. Like, I don't think it's really, like, yeah, it's killing people, but I think the majority of the people that it's killing is people that are unhealthy.
Yeah.
Who have a, like, weak immune system,
underlying conditions,
who are overweight, and they're not talking about that. They're not talking about like, hey, what can we do to prevent this naturally?
That's what I'm saying. They
through exercise, through health, through diet, It's more of like, how can you and that's what doctors do. Doctors aren't there to teach you how to prevent something from happening or a disease from happening. They're just there to treat the actual fucking disease.
Right.
So they're earning money by treating it versus preventing you from getting it in the first place.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, even like with the vaccine and stuff, like, yeah, if you're gonna promote the vaccine, then promote a healthier lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
You know, but they don't do that. They don't care, bro. It's become
don't
another
care.
thing to divide everybody, and it goes back to people are like, "Oh, you're a fucking conspiracy theorist and this and that." It's like
Anti-vax.
right. It's like, bro, I'm really not. It's just that I don't want to put some foreign thing into my body that has a bunch of metals and has a bunch of different things inside of it into my body for something that's not even working, if you think about it. Because, again, like I said, I personally know people that have the vaccine and still got it and still are having a tough time with it, you know? So,
Yeah, which doesn't make sense why they're enforcing it. People can still transmit it.
right.
People can still get it. I get that, like, the death rates might go down if you do, if you do get it, but still, like, let me decide that if I
Exactly.
want to take it or not.
Exactly.
Let me have that choice. Another thing that is so controversial too is, like, these are the same people saying my body, my choice for like abortions and stuff.
Right.
So that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna say my body, my choice when it's, to kill a fucking child, and then you're over here pushing vaccines on everybody
Yeah.
with no choice?
That's the thing, man. It's like,
That's the type of shit that, like, it does not make sense, bro. Like, what the fuck?
and
Like, that's very hypocritical.
and it all trickles down to like different things. Like, they do this and they enforce you to do this. Like, do you honestly think, like, I mean, COVID's always going to be around, always. Like, you have to just accept that, because it's like anything else. All these diseases that we get shots for, they continue to be around. You just get immune to it and stuff like that. You develop immunities, but COVID's always going to be around. So what's going to happen when there's a new variant? You're going to have to get a booster shot, and you're going to keep on having to get booster shots.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it's going to end up happening, is we're always going to be able to have to take something every year.
Yeah, and
There's a new update.
then now your medical record is almost becoming like public in a sense, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wait, what? This is me. This is like my own body. Like, I don't have to tell you what I'm doing.
And I feel like there's a lot of doctors and scientists who, like, probably know, but don't want to come out with their opinions because they don't want, like, to get scrutinized.
Yeah.
They don't want a backlash.
And they'll lose their jobs and whatever the case
Yeah.
may be, you know? They'll lose funding.
So I think we're at a really, really weird situation right now where we're not really having the freedom of speech.
And that's the thing. It slowly but surely takes your rights, man. Like, imagine having to go anywhere, like traveling around the United States, you have to bring a Vax card with you. Like, what? It's like a new driver's license in a sense, you know?
Right.
Nah, this
And
is
it's
crazy.
funny because, like, when it's I don't know, bro. Because, like I could be telling people that the sky is fucking green, but yeah, you might consider that misinformation. But why can't I tell people that the sky is green? So what? Let me tell people that the sky is green.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Let me say what the fuck I want.
And that's also the thing. Like, a lot of the information that came out, even from the CDC and the government in the beginning of COVID, if you look back at it, nowadays it's misinformation. You know?
Yeah.
And the CDC is always fucking changing their mind. At first, when this new variant
Always,
showed
bro.
up, they're like, oh, no, people with the vaccines can't spread it. Now they can. So it's like, okay, so you were spreading misinformation at the time. You know?
Yep.
They're just
And they don't
slowly...
get corrected. They don't get censored.
Nah, this is just, bro, like I said, this is meant to really just take our rights, like, slowly but surely. And it trickles down to other little things. Why are people so passionate about gun control and stuff like that? Because they know once you take one little aspect of it, it's not going to stop there. It's just going to continue and continue and continue and continue.
Yeah. They're always gonna want more.
And they're always going to hit you with stats that goes with their narrative. But when you go deep into the stats, like I was mentioning before when we were talking about guns, they'll say, oh, there's, I don't know what the actual number is, but let's just say, oh, there's 1 million deaths a year related to gun violence. Okay, now this is factual. About 50 to 60% of that is suicides. So of course they're not going to tell you that. Of course they're not going to put in that statistic. They're just going to give you the big ass number. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just tell you the statistics that pushes their argument.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think
That makes their argument seem better.
everybody just needs to have their own choice, and people need to accept somebody else's choice. Like if somebody didn't get vaccinated and you just didn't want to be with them or be around them, then so be it. It is what it is. But don't expect me to do what you want, or what everybody else wants me to do just because you feel some type of way. You know, and you don't even know if it's the right information, because in the future it could come out that, this vaccine causes this vaccine causes that. And the fact that you can't even sue the companies, and the fact that these companies
they're not reliable.
The fact that these companies have been sued by so many people in major lawsuits throughout history is like, does this not concern you guys at all?
Does it not raise any red flags?
Right, man. But to each his own. Like, if somebody got vaccinated, and there's a lot of people within my family and very close to me that got vaccinated, to each his own.
Same here.
I don't trickle down on them and be like, oh, you're fucking stupid. I don't say that shit. Like, do you?
No, but they do to us.
Yeah.
They do to the people that don't want to take it.
100%.
Which is so unfair. Like, I'm not out here fucking calling you idiots for taking the vaccine.
Yeah, that's it, man. It is what it is. I just hate the fact that we're all separated. That's it. It goes from one thing.
It fucking sucks.
It goes from Democrats to Republicans. Then it goes to Black Lives Matter versus the other side. Now it goes from vaccinated to the unvaccinated. You know, like,
yeah,
it's not helping our country at all. Like, we should really be. What's our fucking motto? United we stand, divided we fall. And we're literally divided right now.